Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm covering this because I might cry and I might not or whatever. uh, yeah, this is something that I've been wanting to do. Okay, I think it's necessary and healing. I'm still after healing. Okay, and this gonna probably get gruesome. I'm reading from what I found, you know, and uh, yeah. So let's just get started. I'm just gonna read on what I found. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So I'm gonna start off with. Let's see. Where is it? Sexual astrology. Okay, it says the astrology of sex and love. If it's your thing, and read our exploration of the signs, sexual personalities. Okay, so they got first one being Venus or Mars in Cancer. Cancer's lovers are known for being sensitive and sweet in bed. They can be one of the most romantic signs of the zodiac, and they are normally turned on by partners who are confident and open. That said, they won't easily share their desires and fantasies until they can trust you. Now, I'm doing it on live because I'll be able to read more, okay? Because if I do it on my phone, I'm limited in the time, and I don't want to do it one, two, three, all that. I want to just do it. Okay. Anyway, okay. That said, they won't easily share their desires and fantasies until they can trust you. Cancer lovers want to be all yours, and their perfect scenario would mean spending all day in bed with their partner. Protect and emotional. Cancers are most sentimental and romantic of all signs. Then we got Venus and Mars. So you see, Venus, the planets of love. Venus is woman. Mars is man. Okay. Then we also got Scorpio. Okay. For Leo, sex revolves around undivided attention and adoration. They're most turned on by a doting partner, and their strong sense of pride makes them want to be the best in bed. They would definitely take care of a partner, but they also have a natural inclination to take care of themselves first. Sometimes jealous, Leos usually want to impress their partners with sexual prowess, which makes them very open in bed. On an emotional level, their sexual fantasies come from a deeper desire for love and affection. Venus or Mars in Virgo. For Virgo lovers, sex is necessary part of health and general well-being. They use sexual expression to release everyday stress and tension. Sex is normally simple, sweet, and straightforward. Virgos also love doing small acts for their partners to show appreciation. Sometimes insecure, they tend to make up for it by paying attention to what you like. They focus on things that turn you on and strive to please. While they're insatiably curious about sex, they often keep fantasies to themselves. Don't let that fool you. They're not afraid to explore. Okay, then we got the Libra. These people love to please their partners and they seek balance within their sexual relationships. Libras long to get things right, and they have a strong need for growth within sexual encounters. While they're often givers in bed, they also expect their partners to give in return equally. They're quite provocative in a reserved way, and they're known for being natural born charmers. When it comes to sex, Libras want the atmosphere and the mood to be on point. Think candlelit rooms, sex music, and silky sheets. Okay, now we're doing Venus and Scorpio. Venus and Mars and Scorpio. Hold on. Okay, that's me. Sexually speaking, Scorpios can be most complex lovers. While they have an innate sense of intensity and emotion entangled in their sexual desires, they're not always open in terms of expression. Some Scorpios need power, which makes them willing to do anything. Others express their controlling sensations by running away, becoming unavailable, and even abstaining from sex for long periods of time. Either way, they bring intensity and passion to the bedroom. Scorpios think of sex as innate, intimate, personal, and erotic. Then we have Sagittarius, Venus and Mars and Sagittarius. These people think of sex as a sport. They're very direct with their desires and needs in bed and possesses a freshly childlike frankness. Sagittarians loves like to have fun in bed. Lovers like to have fun in bed, and laughing is a major turn on. They can be a bit selfish and aren't into big romantic gestures. For them, the best way to have sex is to simply just do it. Venus and Mars in Capricorn, straightforward and blunt when it comes to sex. Capricorns are often attracted to strong and powerful lovers who show authority on some level. They also enjoy secrecy and discretion and are normally private about their sexual encounters. Grounded by nature and the earth, they stick to a no frills method of lovemaking. They generally content with simple consistency in sexual acts. They feel that variety of spontaneity are less important than security. Venus and Mars in Aquarius. These water bearers have a very take it or leave it attitude when it comes to sex. Aquarius lovers are not known for being warm and open, although they're very enthusiastic about trying new things. In bed, they usually come off as effortlessly cool and experienced, and they can also become highly turned on when their partner isn't. Detachment can often cause them to want someone more. Venus and Mars in Pisces. Open to many forms of sexual expression, Pisces lovers are normally willing to please. They're highly romantic and emotional, but also a bit shy and withdrawn. They act almost like chameleons, and it's sometimes difficult to pin down their thoughts and desires. While they can be very sensitive, they are also quick to forgive. They can come off as detached and spicy, but they can also be the most romantic lovers. Venus and Mars in Taurus. Sex and romance involve all of the senses for this sign. Probably the most physical of sexual partners. Touch is very important within their in- interactions. Not known for spontaneity, they are very good at what they do. They like to live in the moment in a natural and highly physical way. Not having sex is difficult for a Taurus, so they're seemingly always paired up with a sexual partner. They're known for having a high stamina, so sex is usually long lasting and steady. Then we got Venus and Mars in Aries. Aries folk love for their partner to give themselves fully. Sex can be spontaneous and often void of restriction. Some are addicted to games and love a good conquest, and they also have power desires. Aries lovers can be selfish in bed and quick to jump to the main act without much foreplay. At the same time, they're passionate, sincere and highly enthusiastic lovers. Hair touching and face ceasing excite them, as their most potent erogenous zone lies in the head. They're also up for adventure and feel confident in sexual expression. Excuse me. Venus and Mars in Gemini. This sign is often turned on by talking and laughing in bed. They adore kissing and oral pleasure are of great importance to Gemini lovers. Role playing and extended foreplay are also things they greatly enjoy, as Geminis are usually all about having fun in bed. They're enthusiastic, imaginative, and curious about all difficult types of sexual expressions, but they can also tend to overthink sometimes. Less driven by their erotic desires, Geminis normally react with logic and reason. They're driven by intellect instead of emotion, which makes them question the what ifs involved in sexual interactions. Okay, that's one, yeah. Okay, let's take this off the board. Okay, let me see. Yeah, taking them out one by one. Okay, now we have sexual traits you might have based on your zodiac sign. Okay, this might be a little more not so aggressive. Mars is the planet of passion and desires, and that passion will surely make its way into the bedroom. Those born on the sign of the ram are blessed with the incredible stamina and red hot passion running through their veins. Aries' warrior like personality is aggressive and impulsive, and don't be surprised if they take you in the heat of the moment. Everything they lust is urgent, and their sexual encounters are spontaneous and action packed. In the bedroom, Aries wants to completely dominate their partner. Their sex is intensely passionate and animalistic, and no matter the gender, Aries likes to take charge. The Aries man wants his damsel in a submissive sex position, and the Aries woman wants her lover where she can fully own him. One thing is for sure, Aries loves to chase. Just make sure you don't keep an Aries waiting for too long. They'll get antsy. Okay. Then we have Gemini. Curious and full of mischief, Geminis are tricksters of the zodiac, ruled by Mercury, the messengers of gods. These born under the signs of the twins long for intellectual conversation with a high dose of mental stamina. Quick and restless, their mercurial minds and multiple personalities become easily distracted. So don't be surprised if they're constantly looking to play up different positions and games. Gemini's keeps sex pretty light and fun. Gemini romance feels playful and sex isn't taken too seriously. The twins want to play a love game and rest assuredly they will seduce you in the process. In the bedroom, both Gemini man and woman seek thrill and experimentation. But this air sign approaches sex differently than the rest of the zodiac. The ideal scenario consists of a ton of foreplay, purposely delaying the act of intercourse, and bringing on the sextile, sexting, and the dirty talk. Words are a critical part of their seduction technique. Okay, and we have Cancer, uh, intuitive and nurturing. Cancers are the psychic empaths of the zodiac. What does that mean exactly? These born under the sign of the crab are naturally receptive and governed by their emotions. Ruled by the changeable moon, This water sign is a walking vertex of dreamy nostalgia and repressed feelings. Cancer being in love consists of serious commitment and deep emotional intimacy. So don't be surprised if they aren't into casual flings or animalistic sex. The crab likes to feel safe and needed in their relationship. Otherwise, they will easily hide away in their shells forever. But when comfortable and secure, the moon child is sensual and deeply erotic, passionate and submissive. Cancers will completely give themselves to their partner in the bedroom. Then we have Leo, enthusiastic and highly passionate, ruled by the sun. These born under the sign of the lion are blessed with glowing charisma and an incredible presence. Don't be shocked if a Leo lights up a room. Leo is the life of the party and the child of the zodiac, where their life is a stage and their ego plays a leading role. Leo might expect admiration in the bedroom, but once you can see what Leo can do, you might be willing to give that praise after all. This fire sign wants nothing more than to be loved, needed, and admired. Fluent, fluttering their goods is a most must win in relationship, and they expect their partners to do the same. Making love is an epic performance, and sexual fantasies are more than welcome. Sex with a Leo is far from normal. It's cinematic. Okay. Then we got Taurus. Patient and gentle, ruled by Venus, goddess of love and beauty. Those born under the sign of the bull like to take their sweet time indulging in the pleasures of life. Yet, don't be fooled by their serene disposition. Taurus is stubborn and incredibly determined, sensual and straightforward. This earth sign sees the world with its five senses and expresses sexuality through intense physical contact. And they'll shower you with affection and romance. If you're a sucker for, what is it, rom coms, listen up. ROMCOMS. Okay, listen up. Their romanticism stems from their ruling planet Venus and their carnal instincts from their element. What to expect? Making love with a Taurus consists of lots of kissing and touching. Raw and earthly, the bull wants a partner who likes to cook just as much as they like to cuddle. They want sex to be slow and irresistible, okay? Like their meal, okay? Virgo might be a bit more precise and calculated in bed, notorious for their perfectionism and scrupulous personalities. Virgo is devoted servant of the zodiac. Ruled by Mercury, the Virgoan mind is methodot, methodated, METHODICAL, and analytical. Hence their sharp precision and attention to detail. While in astrology, the Virgin represents the sign Virgo, but when it comes to relationships, that Virgin lets loose once comfortable. In love, this earth sign is critical and old fashioned, but after careful analyzing or courting their significant other, Virgo will stop at nothing to please them. A tip: take a shower before in the bedroom. Clean surroundings and good hygiene are a must. Or you can even have sex in the shower too. So I guess that's what a Virgo. Okay, hold on, y'all. Libra, Venism and co Coquettish, Coquettish. Libra is the love of the zodiac, meaning this air sign is irresistibly charming and in love with love. Ruled by the goddess Aphrodite, Libra feel their best when surrounded by beauty, and finding the perfect balance is their ultimate goal. But there's a tricky part. Falling in love with Libra isn't the problem. It's getting Libra to fall in love with you. That's the challenge. Those born under the sign of Venus scales are blessed with the art of seduction. So turning them on isn't going to be as easy as you think. If you're interested in a Libra man, let him do the chasing. For them, sex isn't nearly as important as feeling happy and fulfilling in a relationship. Dress to impress and bathe yourself in your most expensive perfume. Falling in love with you is their favorite part. Okay. Hmm. Scorpio, Pluto, planet of transformation and god of underworld. Scorpio is the predator of the zodiac, so they might hide their rawness under a cloak of fears and deep mystery, using intimidation as a factor in sparking intrigue and heat, both a blessing and a curse. Scorpios are born with a hypnotic aura and intense psychic abilities. Their life is an all or nothing experience, and their love life feels like a scene from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Okay. Scary hot boat. Connecting mind, body, and soul when in love. This water sign throbs with desire and blood red passion. And in the bedroom, they are carnal and taboo. A tip: read 50 Shades of Grey in preparation and pick out a few fetishes to try. Okay. Ruled by Jupiter, Sagittarius is the most adventurous sign of the zodiac. Sounds fun, right? Optimistic, enthusiastic, those born under the sign of the Archer long for travel, higher learning, and new experiences. And guess what? Seducing this fire sign isn't going to be difficult. When in love, Sagittarius is transparent and open. What you see is what you get. And games are simply out of the question, unless they are playful, sex games, of course. Natural thrill seekers, spontaneous sex, and adventurous fantasies turn them on. And don't be afraid to ask your Sag to try out some new moves. This fire sign is always in the mood to experiment, and they want the bedroom to feel like a brand new adventure. A tip: try tantric sex. Okay, whatever that is. Capricorn. Wise and determined, these born under the sign of Capricorn make choices as though they were making an investment. Interesting. Before taking a Capricorn to bed, he or she might want to get to know you better first and develop that intimate connection. Ruled by Sirius Saturn, those born under the sign of the goat are naturally curious and reserved. This earth sign needs to know exactly where they stand when in a relationship, otherwise, it's going nowhere. And traditional and conservative, Capricorns resemble the sexual tendencies of that of a classic Hollywood film, so something is expected. Before going to bed, Cap might turn on some Mozart and open a bottle of fine wine, but once they start, it easily can turn into an all nighter. The endurance of Capricorn is pretty strong. Aquarius, you got some smarts, Aquarius, but you're also a tricky one to figure out. Aquarius is the genius of the zodiac, ruled by revolutionary Uranus. These born under the sign of the water bearer are natural born visionaries and intellectuals. But as they are logic and detached, Aquarius can easily be misunderstood. Similar to their sister Gemini, this air sign needs lots of conversation and mental stimulation before getting intimate. But once you lock that in, you're in for a treat. But be warned, commitment isn't necessary. Aquarius friendly, she says, as Aquarius valued independence and freedom, so they might be more inclined for a friend with benefits. First, perhaps, or just want to keep things looser before going too serious. And they love to experiment and act on their wild, free spirited passion. But that emotional detachment can still be present. Sex can be a little messy. The more unconventional, the better. Okay. And we got Pisces, ruled by elusive Neptune. Those born in the sign of Pisces are spiritual and worldly, so they might appear highly mysterious and in tune with their surroundings. And being empathetic, Pisces feels best when they're emotionally healing those around them. Their Neptunian dream are psychic and colorful, as they were born with vivid imaginations. So when in love, Pisces is romantic and seductive. Their partner's needs come first, and similar to their sister Scorpio, they long to merge both physically and spiritually. Don't be surprised if Pisces is incredibly seductive. Their sex is erotic and hypnotic, almost like a dream. Water is their kryptonite, and high asleep morning sex is a must. So you might want to save that coffee run for an hour or so after waking up. Okay, that's all on them. Take them off. Okay, here we have, let's go to a little gruesome. Okay, four things that will take you inside the mind of a rapist. Okay, hold on, I gotta give me some water. All right, y'all, me back. Let me drink me some water. All righty then. Let's see. Okay, four things that will make you in that four things that will take you inside the mind of a rapist. Each rape case, this is by Medium. Each rape case that we've ever heard of makes us think makes us think for the victim. Poor girl, she might be devastated. While it's all human to feel empathetic towards the victim, what we might miss is to comprehend the deep rooted causes. Less often do we sit and think why a rapist rapes, or what could have been so triggering for him that it led to such a monstrous act. Here are five major things that play a triggering role in the minds of rapists. Childhood environment. A rapist's actions can trace back to the environment that he was raised. Growing up, if the person has witnessed or faced several forms of violence, rape becomes just another form of violence for him. When the kids aren't looked after with emotional support, they cannot distinguish their positive and negative feelings and hence become unflinching towards the concept of raping. The men who have a bad equation with their families, especially with their mothers, get back at them by sexually abusing other women. Wow. Growing up, a child learns from the response of the family members toward each other. When the woman are recklessly blamed for everything that men do, it forms a biased image in the minds of the young ones. In such an environment, rape can occur with impunity, impunity, immunity. Another factor which makes a loop is when families try to protect the female members from rape, while there are rarely any control practices held for male members. Due to no social pressure, these men find it difficult to understand that sexual abuse is wrong. Thus, the men belonging to the families with a strong patriarchal structure are more likely to be violent toward women in comparison to the ones belonging to the e.g. egalitarian families. I'm assuming that's matriarch. Number two, to show the power of masculinity and hate towards the other gender. Rape can be considered as a hate crime, too. More often than not, rapes are based on a man's sexual urge, but also because of his hatred towards the entire female gender due to which they degrade and humiliate women. But some of these men are plainly under the influence of toxic masculinity and feel that they're entitled to prove the superiority of their gender. Such imposition, according to them, is a way to show that they are more powerful. These rapists possess underlying feelings of inadequacy, hence, raping helps them compensate and feed the issues of authority, control, and strength. Okay, number three, fulfillment of desires and secret fantasies. When a person's behavioral tendencies get out of control, he indulges in a compulsive, obsessive behavior. When controlling the sexual urges and addictions become difficult for such individuals, they end up raping their child, girlfriend, wife, and often strangers. The inability to control such feelings also trace back to one's childhood. For someone who has never had to compromise, has always had their way with everything, controlling becomes a challenge later in life. Such people just want what they want, and for them, that's the end of it. They could either be psychopaths manipulating through their charm, or sociopaths, usually erotic and rage prone. Either of the personality types can be result of genetic imbalance or having a family with a criminal background. Some men live upon a fixed or bizarre sexual fantasy, which they try to realize through rape. For these people, the feeling to get their desires fulfilled is so paramonic. I know that's not right. that it makes them inhuman. While some rapists do express remorse on a later stage in life, the ones driven by desires remain unmoved. The events from the past. Most men who rape start at a young age, during high school or college years. They're likely to face an incident that gets imprinted on their minds for life. In most cases, a rapist is usually a person who has known who is known to the victim. According to the stats revealed by the National Crime Bureau of India, out of 34,600 cases of rape reported in the country in 2015, 33,098 were known to the victims. Some men commit sexual assaults a few times and then stop, while others maintain the behavior for a longer period or even keep doing it regularly. According to the Wayne State University Society psychologist Angela Abel, the young men who express remorse were less likely to offend the following year, while those who blamed their victim were more likely to do it again. She said that one repeated offender put it this way: I felt I was repaying her for sexual arousing me. Wow. Okay. For the one who raped the woman because of their past bitter encounters with them tend to have similar stories of rejection. Once these men become successful, they succeed to get back at the women who rejected them. These rapists mostly mention that when a woman made them angry, usually by turning down a sexual overture, they felt triggered to rape them. They felt that rejection is an insult to their manhood. While these men do agree that the sex was non consensual, they don't consider it as rape and would mostly deny it. In a world that is still trying to level best to fight the issues with increasing rape and helping the victims out, the psyche of individuals must be looked after too. After all, everything relies on how thoughts are shaped, and that is exactly why men who rape do not believe they are the problem. You can now treat yourself to more interest. Okay, that's it. All right. Okay, we're done with that. Now let's go to what your sign means for your sex life. Okay, did I already read this? Let me see. Aries often addicted to honey. They find the chase more attractive than the catch. Rams love to be the best at everything, including sex. Their spontaneous, impulsive nature doesn't require foreplay, as they are naturally ravenous and desirous above anything else. It's hard to slow them down from pursuing you at a top speed, but if you want, you can tame their hearts by keeping things interesting and being passionate. Always act at their level. Taurus, the bull has a simple, direct approach to sex. They see sex as a natural physical need like eating, and they enjoy the act as much as they love a good meal. Oh man, we already read that. We ain't gotta read that. Okay, what else I got? Okay, let's go into genophobia, or the fear of sexual intercourse. How fear can develop after several traumas. Genophobia, also known as phobia, is a fear of sexual intercourse. People with this fear may be afraid of all sex acts or only of intercourse itself. The term genophobia is sometimes used interchangeably with erectophobia, or the fear of sex, but the two conditions are actually different. Genophobia specifically describes the fear of the sex act, while erectophobia more generally defines any fear that is related to sexuality. Causes: like all phobias, genophobia is most likely to develop after several traumas. Rape and molestation are the most common triggers for genophobia, but cultural upbringing and religious teachings may also increase the risk for this fear. Genophobia is sometimes linked to insecurities or body image issues, as well as medical concerns. Additionally, genophobia sometimes occurs independently of any identif- identifiable causes. Rape trauma syndrome. Rape is a fundamental violation of the victim's body and mind. In the aftermath of rape, virtually all survivors undergo an intense psychological reaction. Although not everyone reacts in the same way, most people follow a loosely organized three-stage path. One way of conceptualizing a journey from acute trauma through reorganization and finally resolution is known as rape trauma syndrome, similar to post traumatic stress disorder. Rape trauma syndrome dramatically elevates the risk of developing related mental health conditions. Phobias most often acquire during the reorganization phase as survivors try to rebuild their lives. Although they could develop at any time, the path through rape trauma syndrome is intensely personal and may take anywhere from months to years to fully resolve. Cultural and religious fears. If you are a member of a religious or cultural group that frowns on sexual intercourse, the fact that you follow these teachings does not indicate a phobia. However, phobias can develop when people uh, traditions from one set of beliefs and practices to another. Lingering guilt, self doubt, or fear of breaking the old ways may heighten the risk of phobias. Performance anxiety. Many people, particularly those who are less sexually experienced, fear that they will be unable to please a partner. Although these fears are generally mild and self limiting, they can also be more severe. In some cases, performance anxiety may develop into genophobia. Fear of disease. Sexual intercourse carries the risk of numerous diseases, including HIV. Most people are able to successfully balance this risk using such precautions as condoms, monogram, and STD testing to bring the risk down to a personal acceptable level. If you suffer from nosophobia, hypochondriasm, IS, hypochondria, monophobia, or another related disorder, you may be unable to logically weigh at the risks and rewards. You may feel that sex is dangerous and never worth taking even a small chance of infection. Additionally, some people are afraid that sex will be painful. Medical concerns. Fears that arise from legitimate medical concerns are never considered phobias, as long as the level of fear is proportionated to the situation. Numerous medical conditions, from erotic dysfunction to some heart disease, make sexual activity difficult, impossible, or even potentially dangerous. Caution and even fear may be prudent in these situations. Nonetheless, some people develop fears that are far out of proportion to the level of risk. For example, if your doctor has cleared you to return to normal activities following a heart attack. It is normal to feel some fear before your first post attack sexual experience. Deciding to forego sexual activities along altogether would be disproportionate reaction in this situation. Always follow your doctor's advice when coping with any medical condition and seek assistance for any fear that seems unusual, severe, or long lasting. Treatment. Genophobia is often treated by sex therapists who are mental health professionals with advanced training and certification in sexual matters. However, most cases of genophobia can also be treated by traditional therapists without additional certification. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I don't know what this is. What is this? Just be website. Oh, okay. Anyway, furthermore, those who experience pain or other medical difficulties during intercourse should seek advice from a medical doctor. Battling genophobia is never easy. Many people feel shame or embarrassed and are reluctant to share such a deeply personal phobia. Yet treatment is generally successful, and the rewards are well worth the difficult and often emotional painful process. Coping. Sex is an important aspect of the human condition, and genophobia can have devastating impacts on those who experience it. Some people choose to live asexual lives, finding meaning and fulfillment outside of sexual experience. However, those who choose asexuality out of fear rather than clear headed choice often find themselves feeling unfulfilled and lonely. Genophobia can also wreak havoc on romantic relationships, particularly if your partner's level of interest in sex differs from your own. If you feel you're suffering from genophobia, it can be helpful to speak with a trusted therapist. Okay, I think some of these things are helpful, regardless of what the last person said. Okay, let's go to the next. Hold on, yeah, I'm gonna take a little break. The next one is recovering from rape and sexual trauma. I've been wanting to do this. Recovering from rape and sexual trauma. Recovering from sexual assault takes time and the healing process can be painful, but you can regain your sense of control, rebuild your self worth, and learn to heal. The aftermath of rape and sexual trauma. Sexual violence is shockingly common in our society, according to Centers Disease Control Prevention. Nearly 1 in 5 women in the U.S. are raped or sexually assaulted at some point in their lives, often by someone they know and trust. In some Asian, African, and Middle East countries, that figure is even higher, and sexual assault isn't limited to women. Many men and boys suffer rape and sexual trauma each year. Regardless of age or gender, the impact of sexual violence goes far beyond any physical injuries. The trauma of being raped or sexually assaulted can be shattering, leaving you feeling scared, ashamed, and alone, or plagued by nightmares, flashbacks, and other unpleasant memories. The world doesn't like a safe place anymore. You no longer trust others. You don't even trust yourself. You may question your judgment, your self-worth, and even your sanity. You may blame yourself for what happened or believe that you are dirty or damaged goods. Relationships feel dangerous, intimacy impossible, and on top of that, like many rape survivors, you may struggle with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. It's important to remember that what you're experiencing is a normal reaction to trauma. Your feelings of helplessness, shame, defectiveness, and self blaming are symptoms, not reality. No matter how difficult it may seem, with these tips and techniques, you can come to terms with what happened, regain your sense of safety and trust, and learn to heal and move on with your life. Myths and facts about rape and sexual assault. Misspelling the toxic, Dispelling the toxic victim blaming myths about sexual violence can help you start the healing process. Myth: you can spot a rapist by the way he looks or acts. Facts: there's no surefire way to identify a rapist. Men appear completely normal, friendly, charming, and non threatening. Myth: if you didn't fight back, you must not have thought it was that bad. Fact: during a sexual assault, it's extremely common to freeze. Your brain and your body shuts down in shock, making it difficult to move, speak, or think. Myth: people who are raped ask for it by the way they dress or act. Fact: rape is a crime of opportunity. Studies show that rapists choose victims based on their vulnerability, not on how sexy they appear or how flirtatious they are. Myth: date rape is often a misunderstanding. Fact: date rapists often defend themselves by claiming the assault was a drunken mistake or miscommunication. But research shows that the vast majority of date rapes are repeated offenders. These men target vulnerable people and often ply them with alcohol in order to rape them. Myth: it's not rape if you've had sex with the person before. Fact: just because you previously consented to sex with someone doesn't give them perpetual rights to your body. If your spouse, boyfriend, or lover forces sex against your will, it's rape. Recovering from rape or sexual trauma, step one: open up about what happened to you. It can be extraordinarily difficult to admit that you were raped or sexually assaulted. There's a stigma attack. It can make you feel dirty and weak. You may also be afraid of how others will react. Will they judge you, look at you differently? It seems easy to downplay what happened or keep it a secret. But when you stay silent, you deny yourself help and reinforce your victimhood. Reach out to someone you trust. It's common to think that if you don't talk about your rape, it doesn't really happen. But you can't heal when you're avoiding the truth, and hiding only adds to feelings of shame. As scary as it is to open up, it will set you free. However, it's important to be selective about who you tell, especially at first. Your best bet is someone who will be supportive, empathetic, and calm. If you don't have someone you trust, talk to a rapist or call a rape crisis hotline. Challenge your sense of helplessness and isolation. Trauma leaves you feeling powerless and vulnerable. It's important to remind yourself that you have strength and coping skills that can get you through tough times. One of the best ways to reclaim your sense of power is by helping others. Volunteer your time, give blood, reach out to a friend in need, or donate to your favorite charity. Consider joining a support group. For other rape or sexual abuse survivors, support groups can help you feel less isolated and alone. They also provide invaluable information on how to cope with symptoms and work towards recovery. If you can't find a support group in your area, look for an online group. Step 2, cope with feelings of guilt and shame. Even if you intellectually understand that you're not to blame for the rape or sexual assault, you may still struggle with a sense of guilt or shame. These feelings can surface immediately following the assault or rise years after the attack. But as you acknowledge the truth of what happened, it will be easier to fully accept that you are not responsible. You did not bring the assault on yourself, and you have nothing to be ashamed about. Feelings of guilt and shame often stem from misconceptions such as you didn't stop the assault from happening. After the fact, it's easy to second guess what you did or didn't do. But when you're in the midst of an assault, your brain and body are in shock. You can't think clearly. Many people say they feel frozen. Don't judge yourself for this natural reaction to trauma. You did the best you could under extreme circumstances. If you could have stopped the assault, you would have. You trusted someone you shouldn't have. One of the most difficult things to deal with following assault by someone you know is isolation of trust. Is violation of trust. It's natural to start questioning yourself and wondering if you miss warning signs. Just remember that your attacker is the one to blame. Don't beat yourself up for assuming that your attacker was a decent human being. Your attacker is the one who should feel guilty and ashamed, not you. You were drunk or not cautious enough. Regardless of the circumstances, the only one who is responsible for the assault is the predator. You did not ask for it or deserve what happened to you. Assign responsibility where it belongs, on the rapist. Step 3, prepare for flashbacks and upset memories. When you go through something stressful, your body temporarily goes into fight or flight mode. When the threat has passed, your body calms down. But traumatic experiences such as rape can cause your nerve system to become stuck in a state of high alert. You're hypersensitive to the smallest of stimuli. This is the case for many rape survivors. Flashbacks, nightmares, and intrusive memories are extremely common, especially in the first few months following assault. If your nervous system remains stuck in the long term and you develop post traumatic stress disorder, they can last much longer. To reduce the stress of flashbacks and upset memories, try to anticipate and prepare for triggers. Common triggers include anniversary dates, people or places associated with the rape, and certain sights, sounds, or smells. If you are aware of what triggers may cause an upset reaction, you'll be in a better position to understand what's happening and take steps to calm down. Pay attention to your body's danger signals. Your body and emotions give you clues when you're starting to feel stressed and unsafe. These clues include feeling tense, holding your breath, racing thoughts, shortness of breath, hot flashes, dizziness, and nausea. Take immediate steps to self soothe. When you notice any of the above symptoms, it's important to quickly act to calm yourself down before they spiral out of control. One of the quickest and most effective ways to calm anxiety and panic is to slow down your breathing. Soothe panic with these simple breathing exercises. Excuse me, y'all. Sit or stand comfortably with your back straight. Put on hand Put one hand on your chest and the other on your stomach. Take a slow breath in through your nose, counting to 4. The hand on your stomach should rise. The hand on your chest should move very slow. Hold your breathing for a count of 7. Exhale through your mouth to a count of 8, pushing out as much air as you can while contracting your abnormal abdominal muscles. The hand on your stomach should move in as you exhale, but your other hand should move very little. Inhale again, repeating the cycle until you feel relaxed and centered. Tips for dealing with flashbacks. It's not always possible to prevent flashbacks, but if you find yourself losing touch with the present and feeling like the sexual assault is happening all over again, there are actions you can take. Accept and reassure yourself that this is a flashback, not reality. The traumatic event is over and you survived. Here's a simple script that can help. I am feeling panicked, frightened, overwhelmed, etc. Because I am remembering the rape, sexual assault, but as I look around, I can see that the assault isn't happening right now, and I'm not actually in danger. Ground yourself in the present. Grounding techniques can help you direct your attention away from the flashback and back to the present environment. For example, try tapping or touching your arms or describing your actual environment and what you see when you look around. Name the place where you are, the current date, and 3 things you see when you look around. Number 4, reconnect to your body and feelings. Since your nervous system is in a hypersensitive state following a rape or assault, you may start trying to numb yourself or avoid any association with the trauma, but you can't selectively numb your feelings. When you shout, when you shout down the unpleasant sensations, you also shout down your self-awareness and cap, capacity for joy. You end up disconnected both emotionally and physically, existing but not fully living. Signs that you're evolving and numbing in unhelpful ways. Feeling physically shut down. You don't feel bodily sensation like you used to. You might even have trouble differentially between pleasure and pain, feeling separate from your body or surroundings. You may feel like you're watching yourself or situation you're in rather than participating in it, having trouble concentrating and remembering things, using stimulants, risky activities, or physical pain to feel alive and counteract the empty feeling inside of you, compulsively using drugs or alcohol, escaping through fantasies, daydreams, or access TV, video games, etc. Feeling detached from the world, the people in your life, the activities you used to enjoy. To recover after rape, you need to reconnect to your body and feelings. It's frightening to get back in touch with your body and feelings following a sexual trauma. In many ways, rape makes your body the enemy, something that's been violated and contaminated, something you may hate or want to ignore. It's also scary to face the intense feelings associated with the assault. But while the process of reconnecting may feel threatening, it's not actually dangerous. Feelings, while powerful, are not reality. They won't hurt you or drive you insane. The true danger to your physical and mental health comes from avoiding them. Once you're back in touch with your body and feelings, you will feel more safe, confident, and powerful. You can achieve this through the following techniques. Rhythmic movement. Rhythm can be very healing. It helps us relax and regain a sense of control over our bodies. Anything that combines rhythm and movement will work. Dancing, drumming, marching. You can even incorporate it into your walking or running routine. by concentrating on the back and forth movements of your arms and legs. Mindfulness meditation. You can practice mindfulness meditation anywhere, even while you're walking or eating. Simply focus on what you're feeling in the present moment, including any body sensations and emotions. The goal is to observe without judgment. Yoga, tai, tai Chi, and Kwango. These activities combine body awareness with relaxing, focused movement and can help relieve symptoms of PTSD and trauma. Massage after rape. You may feel uncomfortable with human touch, but touching and being touched is an important way we give and receive affection and comfort. You can begin to reopen yourself to human contact through massage and therapy, a powerful program for reconnecting to your feelings and physical sensations. Help Guides free emotional intellectual intelligence toolkit can help you recover after rape by reconnecting you to uncomfortable or frightening emotions without becoming overwhelmed. You can use the toolkit in conjunction with therapy or on its own. Over time, it can make a huge difference in your ability to manage stress, balance your mood and emotions, and take back control of your life. Step 5. Stay in control. Stay connected. It's common to feel isolated and disconnected from others following a sexual assault. You may feel tempted to withdraw from social activities and your own loved ones, but it's important to stay connected to life and the people who care about you. Support from other people is vital to your recovery, but remember that support doesn't mean that you always have to talk about it or dwell on what happened. Having fun and laughing with people who care about you can be equally healing. Participate in social activities. Even if you don't feel like it, do normal things with other people, things that have nothing to do with sexual trauma. Reconnect with friends. If you retreated from relationships that were once important to you, make the effort to reconnect. Make new friends. If you live alone or far from family and friends, try to reach out and make new friends. Take a class or join a club to meet people similar interests. Connect to alumni association or reach out to neighbors or work colleagues. Number 6, nurture yourself. Healing from sexual trauma is a gradual, ongoing process. It doesn't happen overnight, nor do the memories of the trauma ever disappear completely. This can make life seem difficult at times, but there are many steps you can take to cope with the residue symptoms and reduce your anxiety and fear. Take time to rest and restore your body's balance. That means taking a break when you're tired and avoiding the temptation to lose yourself by throwing yourself into activities. Avoid doing anything compulsively, including working. If you're having trouble relaxing and letting down your guard, you may benefit from relaxation techniques such as meditation and yoga. Be smart about media consumption. Avoid watching any program that could trigger bad memories or flashbacks. This includes obvious things such as news reports about sexual violence and sexual exploit, TV shows, and movies. But you may also want to temporarily avoid anything that's overstimulant, including social media. Take care of yourself physically. It's always important to eat right, exercise regularly, and get plenty of sleep. But even more so when you're healing from trauma, exercise in particular can soothe your traumatization nerve system, relieve stress, and help you feel more powerful and in control of your body. Avoid alcohol and drugs. Avoid the temptations to self medicate with alcohol or drugs. Substance use worsens many symptoms of trauma, including emotional numbing. social isolation, anger, and depression. It also interferes with treatment and can contribute to problems at home and in relationships. How to help someone recover from rape or sexual trauma. When a spouse, partner, sibling, or other loved one has been raped or sexually assaulted, it can generate painful emotions and take a heavy toll on your relationship. You may feel angry and frustrated. Be despite women. Be there for your relationship return to how it was before the assault, or even want to retaliate against your loved one's attacker. But it's your patience, understanding, and support that your loved one needs now, not more display of aggression or violence. Let your loved one know that you still love them and reassure them that the assault was not their fault. Nothing they did or didn't do could make them capable in any way. Allow your loved one to open up at their own pace. Some victims of sexual assault find it very difficult to talk about what happened. Others may need to talk about the assault over and over again. This can make you feel alternatively frustrated and uncomfortable, but don't try to force your loved one to open up or urge them to stop rehashing the past. Instead, let them know that you're there to listen whenever they want to talk. If hearing about your loved one's assault brings you discomfort, talking to another person can help, but things put things into perspective. Encouraging your loved one to seek help, but not pasteurizing. Follow the trauma of rape or assault, a sexual assault. Many people feel totally disempowered. You can help your loved one to regain a sense of control by not pushing or nagging. Encourage them to reach out for help, but let them make the final decision. Take clues from your loved one as to how you can best provide support. Okay, let's see. Um, Show empathy and caution about physical intimacy. It's common for someone who's been sexually assaulted to shy away from physical touch, but at the same time, it is important that they don't feel those closest to them are emotionally withdrawn or that they've somehow been tarnished by the attack, as well as expressing affection verbally. Seek permission to hold or touch your loved one. In the case of a spouse or sexual partner, understand that your loved one will likely need time to regain a sense of control over their life and body before desiring sexual intimacy. Take care of yourself. The more calm, relaxed, and focused you are, the better you'll be able to help your loved one. Manage your own stress and reach out to others for support. Be patient. Healing from the trauma of rape or sexual assault takes time. Flashbacks, nightmares, del- debating, deliberating, whatever it is, fear, or other symptoms of PTSD can persist long after any physical injuries have healed. Okay, helping someone with PSD. Okay, okay, I'm gonna stop right here. This gonna be part one. Put that on my screen. For this part one, I'm gonna come back with part two. This pretty devastated, I know. But all right, this your girl Ruth signing off. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. I really appreciate it. I'll be back later with part two. Okay, love y'all. Bye.